day 2 recap of our Zero to Hero challenge. Just in case you weren't here, or in case you haven't watched the first video, Zero to Hero, at least for me, I know the name has a couple different meanings where you look, but for me, it's really about starting from completely fresh out of the ground, like literally right off the strand, broke as a bitch, and taking that all the way to the top. In this case, the top is getting a Mageblood. So yesterday when I started this challenge, it was literally like a fresh instance of trade Crucible Softcore Trade. As I have not actually played Crucible Softcore Trade this league prior to yesterday. Um, so that's what this challenge is about. Right now we're on day 2. Let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit. So one, my stash looks a lot better than it did yesterday. Let me tell you, stash looks a lot better, and my character looks a little bit better. So you can see the gear, like Six Lake here, the Assailant here. Um, I'd show you in a map, but that actually takes a little bit of time. That's not the focus of this. If you want to see me mapping, if you want to see the character gameplay, check the VODs in my stream. Hop in the stream. Link will be in the description down below. In fact, if you're watching this video, I'm already live. So, or the day of anyway. So don't come to me wondering why you saw this one on Monday. Like, I thought you were alive. Like, no. I was live at 3 p.m. Sunday, Central Time. So I'll be live then. But just general progress report over, especially compared to yesterday. So yesterday when I did this progress report, I was maybe an hour and a half out of the axe. I was extremely bootleg. As of today, versus today, the Atlas is looking pretty good. 80 maps completed so far. 2 of my watch stones. Um, my gear's a lot better. I have a bow with a 460 top end, which is like good enough, but I can definitely get it higher. And it's a 6 link because this base was literally 10 chaos. It was beautiful. Um, I bought that market submission I was talking about on the video yesterday as well, like immediately actually after I recorded the video. I have an Assailant now. This thing is nuts. When I get to snipe, this thing goes crazy. And then, the rest of my gear is just the rest of my gear got a decent quiver. Like, I basically upgraded every single slot. So my emulate, that has to be fixed still. But this one's not good enough for now. Um, and yeah, that rate my flask a little bit and stuff. Tree, if you want to see character level, we're 86. Realistically, I should be higher. Like you can see, I was mapping at 170k. I was actually at 200 something k, but I just started dying because I'm pushing 14 to 16, doing things like pressing Crucible and whatnot. And you know how Crucible gets, which that has some holes in the build, but I'll talk about that more in a more build focused video. Just want to show off what I'm working with and how we're progressing so far. Let's talk money a little bit. So money wise, we're okay-ish, right? Let me pull up the other version of my screen here, so you can see down here I've got my 2.4 div, which is a substantial increase in my net worth considering yesterday I didn't have net worth, and it's like 2.4 div is kind of low considering it's like an entire day basically to get to 2.4 div. But that's just me getting Atlas stuff taken care of, right? I haven't really focused so much on income. We've been more focused on getting the character right. And so, like, to that end, there's some character upgrades on the way that are gonna like really supercharge the progress towards money. But we're pretty much right there at this point, like getting ready to go get this money so that we can push the character to be incredible. Um, and if you want to see like some more of the detailed breakdown, and like I'll probably post this data somewhere in the Discord, maybe, I don't know. And I forgot what I'm gonna do with this data. But you'll see my money right now, 2.4 div. And it's very, very heavily stilted towards like this life force that I have and my raw chaos from just selling things. Which the life force number I don't even think is actually accurate, but I haven't like gone and converted any of it myself to double check this. So it that's where the money's gonna start kicking in at, and so that kind of talks about that gets me right into what the plan coming up is, because now we're 2 stones in. I actually want a 3rd stone because my ideal map isn't a T16 yet. And that's gonna irk me because it does limit us. It's a very small list of things that it bothers, but it does mess up things such as adjacent map sales. If my maps aren't 16s, it's a little bit harder to sell them. Which selling maps is a one-ring path tree is a pretty big part of the income. So let's go ahead and talk about the money making strat. Money making wise, it's a one-ring path tree now. I went through the early progression that we're wandering. Wandering with Harvest. Probably the most basic currency generation strat in the game currently. Just because it's so straightforward. You get Harvest in there all the time between the 50% spawn chance, and I could use Stream of Consciousness. I probably should be to be even more so guarantee it, but I pretty much do it all the time anyways. And then taking these three small passes. These three small passes really make this setup work. Um, Harvest crops have a 20% increased chance to be T3 plants. This pretty much guarantees, and almost this is like an almost guarantee that you always have a T3 plant in any crop that you have in a harvest, which means you're always going to be clicking on it, and it's great. And it's actually like a large part of the reason why Wandering Path Harvest actually ends up being better than non-Wandering Harvest. It's literally just these right here because the T3s are such a massive value increase on a plot compared to your T2s and T1s. Um, and I have yet to go ahead and grab all of the stuff that gets me more quantity of life force. I was grabbing some more area, like some more mob effect and whatnot, because I want more general drops. So talking about the overarching evolution of the strat, which means we're just going to be running with altars and harvest, and generally blowing things up. As the character gets stronger, we're going to start filling out this dump tab that I'm going to be building here, which is just going to be a dump tab full of crucible bows. We're going to hope that somebody bites on them, right? That's the whole play. I'm going to cross some items in between here and there. For more details on that, you might have to catch me at a different time. I'm not going to put the details of what I'm going to craft in here, not yet, because I'm still figuring that out a little bit. And also because I think something's got to be left to be surprised, right? I'll cover it more in detail when it's relevant to a recap as opposed to a plan. And then outside of that, the other major thing is that I want to upgrade my character just a little bit more. I feel pretty comfortable with this. I just want to get a bow that's slightly stronger. I want a top end of closer to like 550, maybe even 560. With some attack speed. Not having attack speed on this bow has really been killing me. Like like figuratively and literally causing a lot of my deaths. And so getting attack speed here is a major priority. Getting a cluster is starting to look pretty important. As you know, I'm 86. My next level goes to Special Lucky, and then from there I either path over into max res or I start. And even when I path over into max res, I'm still gonna want to set up a cluster to replace this pathing here. This pathing is okay, but this was taken just so that I could get some more damage out of my tree while I'm waiting for clusters. Because 8 passive clusters are really expensive, so I'm actually gonna craft on 9 passives and then upgrade to 8 later. But craft on 9s to like put this here and like really like grow out the character. Fill in my jewel sockets because I have one 2-point jewel, 2.2 point jewels to take, as well as this. This just generally can be improved upon. And I'm gonna take those three and I'm gonna make them better, as well as getting the jewel sockets from the actual cluster jewel. And that's going to really be a huge increase in my damage, which is like going to be, and of course, an increase in my speed and safety. Related to my performance of the build thing, something to keep note of is I've been playing around with this like for splitter for people who want to play this build like bleed bow at any point. I've played around that with all three clear speed supports, Pierce, Chain, and Fork. Um, they all seem to have different points at which are really good, but I've just kind of leaned back to Pierce. I think it just does the best job of cleaving through a pack. It misses things a couple times here and there, and I think earlier on when your character's weaker, chain is really good. I haven't found the point where I think that fork is good. I think I need to really get to choosing more before I say fork is better. But at the same, maybe like it's a woke fork thing. I need like woke fork to really get it there. I don't know yet. I gotta see because it didn't feel amazing when I was using it previously. Um, that's that. So going forward, like tomorrow, the biggest goal going into tomorrow slash today's goal, day 3, we're going to be aiming to get it minimum 30 div as my net worth. That's just really so I can get a starting point to get into the more like accelerated ways of making money. Maybe we'll actually find like a lucky drop of some sort that really like bumps us up a little bit. Right now we're actually just kind of coasting through on like normal drops and whatnot. I get a couple things that sell here and there. Like I had a Dawnbreaker that I dropped earlier with Max Fizz Fire, which ended up selling for about 30 chaos and stuff like that. But we're not really like rolling in anything like massive yet, which means we have a lot of room to grow. Um, but we're gonna stop. We're not gonna really look for the big drops. We're just gonna push the strat that gets us into 3, 4, 5 div an hour territory. Because that's going to do a lot more work for the progression of my character. for the progression of the character, and then also in turn the progression of this goal of hitting a mage blood, right? So that's today's recap. If you liked the video, please leave a like. It really helps a lot. Um, let me know in the comments if there's anything you wanted to see differently in either yesterday or today's recap. Right, this is like my first time doing something like this, and I greatly would appreciate the feedback, as it just generally will help me make this better, both for me and for you. If you're really digging it, you can always subscribe to the channel and be notified when these go live. But if you're on the Twitch, I'll let you know anyways that this shit is live, right? But that said, links will be in the description so you can catch me everywhere, and I will see you all in the stream hopefully. And there'll be another recap tomorrow, obviously. But yeah, peace out. See.